One of the reasons why the liberals try to get the New Testament documents, especially the Gospels, out of the first century and into the very late in the first century, long after the events had occurred, or even into the second century, is that they realize that if you have eyewitness testimony, if you have proof that these documents were produced in the first half of the first century when eyewitnesses still knew Jesus and the apostles, then the evangelicals have a strong case. What the liberals have conveniently swept under the rug, though, is the fact that some of their own members, such as William Foxwell Albright, again, one of the greatest biblical scholars of the 20th century. He was taught at Johns Hopkins University. He was a world-renowned archaeologist, but he was a liberal. But none other an authority than William Foxwell Albright himself came out as early as the 1950s, the 1960s, saying that he could see no reason why all of the documents of the New Testament could not have been written before AD 45. In addition to William Foxwell Albright, which goes back into the 20th century, we have recently Bishop A.T. Robinson also coming to the same conclusion. Bishop A.T. Robinson, again, being a liberal, the value of citing people like Albright and Robinson is that it has the force that lawyers call the highest degree of credibility, which they call admission against interest. Albright and Robinson, being liberals, were nevertheless honest enough to come out with something that is contrary to what some of their fellow liberals are saying about the dating of the documents of the New Testament. And Bishop A.T. Robinson, being a flaming liberal, he was best known for his book that came out called Honest to God back in the 60s or 70s. And I remember what an explosion it made about here's a bishop saying he's honest to God and coming out with a liberal anti-evangelical view. Of course, the reviewers were quick to pounce on that title and the reviews were called Dishonest to God. But anyway, the point is that he was trying to be honest, and in a sense he was when he came out with this book on accepting Albright's view, basically, that there is no reason why the documents of the New Testament could not have been written in the first century, contrary to what his fellow liberals are saying. So here you have not only a conservative like Dr. John Ludlum, who moved independently and without any persuasion, but just as the result of his own study, his own honest study of the original works that the German higher critics put out. He saw through them and moved from a liberal position to a conservative position. You have also liberals like William Foxwell Albright and John Robinson, not converting from liberalism to conservatism as a whole, but still admitting one of the conservative positions on the dating of the documents, and that is an admission against interest and therefore has the highest degree of credibility.